Suppose the first place to start is what were your views on the red card incident?
I'll need to have another look at it. I think, when a ball player's travelling at speed to the line, he's turned to pass and he's gone for him, but sometimes they look different frame by frame to what they do in full speed. So I haven't had time to analyse it too much. We're in the course of a game. We'd had a man sent off, so we got some organising to do. I will have a look at it, but we can't do all about it now. So.
You must be proud of how your boys reacted with the man down to almost turn it around.
Yeah, I'm proud of the performance from start to finish. I think obviously we've had some very difficult circumstances with his team selection. Injuries. I've been at clubs before. I've been in the game a long time, and I've been at clubs before where we've had injury situations or injury crises, as they like to be termed. I don't think I've ever had one where every spine player and pretty much most of your backs are ruled out. So we had a lot of forwards to pick from. We clearly had to adapt as game and try and come up with a game plan that we felt would suit our personnel, and the game plan that we felt could, rattle Saints a little bit. I thought they delivered it to a T, really. We knew we had to keep the score close. We knew chances could be hard to come by. But we came within a whisker of doing it, I feel, for it to be a 2-point ball game, and I think there were 9 minutes to play, to do 30, close to 40 minutes, 35 minutes with 12 men. I just thought we were a magnificent effort. We don't want to be gallant losers, spirited losers, but I think there's enough in there to suggest that this team and particularly some of our younger players that aimed up today, has really got some minerals.
Yeah, even though you're on the wrong side of the result and everything, perhaps you can be gain confidence from the way your guys went about the job and bounce back from the sending off as well to take that forward into
season. Yeah, for sure. Look, we're out of the cup and we wanted to defend the cup, but there were some sits. I thought we had to overcome a number of hurdles during that game. I really did. But we can certainly pull out some positives and let that be a benchmark for effort, and just small things like how we got off his line, how hard we tackled. I thought we really went after him defensively. When things didn't go right, we tried to cover each other up through sheer effort, and I thought we shut a number of opportunities down for them through that. Clearly with a team with an abundance of forwards in, we didn't want to play too many shift plays and go out the back. We just felt long balls and out the back would be no good. So we picked a couple of areas to get directed and ready to play off as nines in the short sides when opportunities arose, and that's pretty much how we come up with this try. So, I really applaud our guys. Take my hats off to the effort. They're obviously gutted that they've lost the game, but at the same time, they know how much they put into it and where that effort took them in some very, very difficult circumstances today.
Just one last one for me on a quick injury on it. Is Gailey out for a while? Is it his thumb, isn't it?
Yeah, broken thumb. We wondered if we could, we had to get a specialist to look at it, see if there were any way we could strap him up and play. But no, it's a broken thumb, so he's a 4 to 5 week injury. And the thing about his injuries is, there's some light at the end of the tunnel. It's not sort of long term. The injuries, you can look at a club and go, what's going on there? But the injuries have come about in very, very different ways. Some are from last season. A number of them pretty much are from our first 2 league games and our trial game, which have been broken bones, contact injuries. We will have a couple, I think, at least. I don't want to put too many numbers on it. We'll have a couple returning and available next week, and I think the week after, where we are at this moment in time, I don't want to sort of get in front of myself here, but we should have around 6 or 7 returning then. So, we need to, as I said last week, really keep fighting hard at this moment in time when we're a little bit unbalanced. But if we can set that as benchmark for effort and commitment for us and how hard we're going to defend, we won't be too far wrong.
Cheers, Rich. I'll pass you over to someone else. Thank you.
Hi, Rich. I suppose, Rich, in terms of that game today, you didn't weren't lacking in heart or spirit. And I suppose you mentioned adversities. Even after 2 minutes for the opening try for St. Helens, you were facing adversities straight from the off, but you really battled back to be right in that game before the sending off, and then you had to battle back again. So 2 comebacks really in one game there today.
Yeah, but it was a close game too. You know, it wasn't like we were chasing down 3 and 4 scores. You know, we were always sort of a score in it. You know, when Brad Dwyer scored his first try, we were back to within, I think maybe 8 points, maybe. But no, I think the boys stuck to it really well. I think we had what we thought were a simple enough game plan, and one that we felt we could, derail Saints a bit. But at the same time, yeah, we went down to an early try, but we didn't let that derail us. I think we understood the mistake that we made during that, and at half time we felt if we could just be a little bit more productive on his last tackle plays. Clearly, a second half, the start to a second half, I think we barely touched the ball in 3 sets, and then we had a send off. So, you know, we certainly faced some adversity then, and I felt there were other occasions in the game where things just, you know, simply clearly weren't going our way. But I'm really proud of the effort, guys. Really proud of the effort. Really proud of the battling spirit and energy that our boys showed in, you know, some fairly difficult circumstances.
That's all for me, Rich. I'll pass you on to someone else.
Thank you.
Hi, Rich.
Rich. Hi, Rich.
Hi, mate.
Apologies if someone's asked you this. I'm having trouble hearing you from the stand, but how's King Vuni Yaya? Or?
Yeah, obviously, HIA. I've very, very briefly seen him at half time and then at full time. He's okay, mate. He's okay. Clearly, getting knocked out, he wasn't in a fit state to come back on, and but he's open, he's talking, and he's fine, mate. But I've not sort of spent any great length of time with him, Pete.
Yeah, I'll pass you on to someone else, Rich.
Thanks, mate.
I'm having trouble hearing you. Thank you.
No worries.
Hi, Rich. How you doing?
Hey, Matt. Good, thanks.
You obviously needed some players to step up and act as leaders today in the absence of a lot of your spine players. Were there any individuals that stood out for you that really did try and take it by the scruff of the neck and do that?
Well, I thought Matt Pryor as his captain was just magnificent. Again, game time everywhere, tough carries. I thought both our nines had a good impact on the game. You know, clearly without us halves, we need to try and create some momentum and let them get out and run and play short. I thought Cruz did a good job there. Brad certainly came up with two massive plays for us. Thought our back three did a good job, all of them, you know, in recognising when our forwards needed a rest and to get out there with some meters. I thought they defended their edges well, especially a couple of times where they were, you know, massively under pressure. But it's hard to single out too many, Matt, because you know I thought across the board I could not have asked for any more as a coach to what those blokes gave. You know, I know Zane got sent off, but I thought Matty, Zane, and Mickey, our starting middle, I thought they were great, mate. I thought Mickey's probably had his best game of the season. Rhys Martin's probably had his best game of the season. So, you know, Jared O'Connor put a great stint in from there. Very difficult for me to single out. But I thought Matty as our captain, you know, I thought his effort was just, you know, outstanding.
Just on the pack, you went up against what many would argue is the best pack, and it was at full strength. And those three, Mikolai, Matt Pryor and Zane, really did stifle them early doors. How promising is that in terms of long term and what you're hoping to achieve come the end of the season?
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, we've had a somewhat patchy off season, but we're really confident that when we get into the groove a little bit and we can keep a stable lineup, with opportunity to play with each other over a number of weeks, and we get a little bit more strike on the field with the 3 quarters that we've got and some halves that can keep the ball. We think we'll have a good team, mate. Just right now, it's you know, and we knew this was coming a little bit pre-season, not to this extent, but we just got to keep keep working really hard. And if we replicate effort like that, it'll be great. It's probably important to point out that our pack went against Saints today, but we had 10 players playing in our pack to their 6. We might have had a numerical advantage in that. But as I say, we tried to adapt a game plan accordingly, and very nearly